Jubiest of the tubiest. The best YouTube subscribers on the planet.
Yes, sir.
That's you. At I-50 Plus. This is my co-driver for the week, Mr. Ronnie Cochran.
Hey.
No relation. No relation.
To Johnny Cochran. Yeah.
Hey, you know it's been a little while since I made a video, but trust me, real soon y'all gonna get enough of me. Yeah, like we just got just get off the internet. Just give it a little bit, you'll see what we got in the works. But until then, you get what you're getting. So, Mr. Ronnie Cochran, been in court lately?
Nah.
No. Look, you know, I've had guys on here before who were experienced drivers, but you know, you're the first driver that I had on here that at one point used to work for Melton. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have you back.
Glad
you know,
to be back.
so far,
Yeah.
we're working out.
Yeah.
I gotta let the window. It's too much outside noise, so I have to let the windows up. And between the time you left Melton, what'd you do?
I went and drove tanker. I drove tanker, and it was an experience. You know? Yeah. It was an experience.
That's an interesting thing. You know, I have I call specialty driving, you know, specialty trucking. Anything that does not fit in a box, I would call a specialty trucking, you know.
I agree.
And outside of even containers, because even containers is a special thing.
Yeah.
It's not you know, intermodal is what that's called. And intermodal is what they call it when a company runs it, right? But if it's independent person, they just call it container hauling, I guess. I don't know.
Where intermodal would be more train line.
Uh-huh.
You know how they commute through trains.
Yeah.
So that's what make it.
And so when the guys that I run into mostly, because it's I live in Houston, coastal state, everybody go to the ship channel and pick up from the ships instead of from. And by the way, I don't understand how that can be a shortage of anything. if you got a twit car and you been to the port and you be like, I mean stuff everywhere, and you can't get enough trucks in there. Right. I mean, you go to the port, you're there half a day, and these people aren't just sitting around. I mean,
it's constant.
It depends, man. If you flatbed get loaded, you might be going right now. 50, you lying, because I done been to the port and sat there while them guys, you know, doing this here. I've been there. I've done that. Got t-shirt, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about container. Talking about them. They come. Their stuff is already loaded. They come in there with a container chassis, and then they pull under there, and a big old crane comes down to set that container on top of that chassis. They lock it down and almost pop a wheelie getting out of there. And they ain't even, the wheels is coming up. And it's another truck pulling in behind them, do the same thing every time. And, you know, I don't see too many nice looking ones. Them container drivers, they the raggedy stuff. And them jokers be making the money, boy. They don't, as long as it's got a big powerful engine, they don't care. Because they will run you slap over, you know. But that's a different thing. But containers, I would call a specialty type of situation, along with flatbed and the absolute plethora of stuff you can do with I call it open deck. So flatbed, RGN, stretch, poles, you know, tree, everything. It's all open deck stuff, all specialty stuff. It's just that once you get into drive-in and reefer, you know what you got? You got drive-in and reefer. That's it. You're not putting, you know, timber poles in the back of a reefer. That's just that. No. All right, you're not gonna oversize that something good. You may overweight it, but you're not gonna oversize it. Say different situation. But I get a lot of people that ask me about a tank, and most of the time they believe that they're gonna make more money with tank because they believe every time they see a tank truck, it's got, it's going to blow up, But tanks haul water, milk,
everything.
Yes, a lot of stuff. If you, so
everything.
Yeah, you,
Colognes.
Yeah.
All
Boy, let me tell you something. How long a guy gotta go without a bath before he need to take a tanker of cologne?
You need a doctor at that point.
Oh my God! I done talked to some people and they could probably gargle with a whole bunch of it. they talking and I'm going, I get it. I had a guy out there. Yeah, I wish I had some cologne for his office. That just, he put his arm up like this and he drive like this, and I damn near want to jump out the window. God. I was like, I finally had to. I finally went to the back, and he wouldn't like keep it up there, but he would use it to like lift himself, and get right. So I waited until his arm got up like this. I waited till his arm got up and sprayed a bunch of air in under his armpit. We go into the shower now, right now. Oh, do I smell bad? I'm like, dude, these tears ain't because I stubbed my toe. You scalding my eyeballs. But luckily he was able to, complete his training fairly quickly. I was able to breathe yet again. So, outside of, cologne and milk and water, yeah, that's some explosive stuff, huh?
Yeah, you get. I mean, car fuel, truck diesel, jet fuel. I mean, you name it.
What did you carry?
I hauled diesel fuel and gasoline.
So that means you had hazmat and all that stuff.
Yeah, the hazmat and all that.
So outside of the tanker endorsement and hazmat, is there like any special stuff that you have to have? Because you went from flatbed, right, to tank.
Yeah, flatbed to tank. I had everything when I left flatbed, but I had to go redo my hazmat. And of course you got to go do your
What is that guy doing? Did you see him?
Getting further from this spot to make it hard to get in.
Well, he was gonna get in the spot that's over there, so this rider guy waited for him, and then he snaked around again. So excuse me, I know I'm rambling today, but so you said you had
well, you gotta go do your national security check that you usually gotta do.
Okay.
That with your hazmat.
He doing it again.
That's basically it.
This guy must be drunk or can't drive.
Well, I mean, he can't. He ain't.
And he's driving 90 miles an hour to set up for a back. I don't get it.
Right. Yeah.
I wish I was filming that. So you got all of your the security thing. You got that when you got your hazmat?
Yeah, my hazmat and all that. You can have your TWIC and all that because, I mean, tanker go a wide variety. We went to truck stops, we went to gas stations, we went to train yards. Train run off diesel.
Yep.
Right. But it's a lot of stuff people just don't realize runs off fuel. It's good.
Dude, somebody, that's how guys get reported. They get his company name and truck number, and they call and say, y'all need to drug test this dude today. And so my son hauls big stuff.
Okay.
Heavy stuff. Everything he hauls is over-dimensional, and he has to have pilot cars and all that kind of stuff to drive him around. And I guess he just got bored with it, and wanted a break from all of that. And so he decided to spend a little time pulling tanks. And I think that may have been his first or second run. Man, he called me whining and crying.
Oh yeah.
He don't want to do it.
Yeah,
and he didn't. A couple of things he didn't like. Number one, getting his hands dirty. He don't like that.
Okay.
He don't like that. He don't like that. He do it because he do flatbed. You know, I mean, overday stuff. So he still do it. But what he don't like is when after he take the gloves off, he wanted it to be over. But he was delivering fuel and stuff like that, and you can't get that smell off your hands, right?
Yeah.
And the surge.
Yeah.
He did not. He didn't like that at all.
But they got bulkheads in them tanks.
Yeah.
To stop it from bulkheading you, because I'm surging you. I mean, but it ain't as bad as people think it is.
Right.
But I mean, it ain't nothing that I tell nobody to go do.
It's why you're not doing it anymore, right?
One of them, yeah.
Right. You know, I think the draw to it is a lot of guys believe that because it's a hazmat load that they're going to automatically just get this huge jump in salary, and so you go drive tanks and you're just going to get this massive boost.
False. I mean, I can tell you that's false.
Yeah.
You know, I made my best money, man, at Flatbed, and I done did containers, dry box, reefers.
Yeah.
I mean, I done did a lot of stuff in trucking, man.
Yeah.
This foremost to me, my opinion, Flatbed.
And the best thing I like about the flatbed industry, other than the fact that I did drive van and reefer, and man, there is
sitting forever.
God, man, there is no you have no type of schedule. You just don't, man. I mean, you can today's load may drop off in 3 days at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then you pick up a load. That load drops off at 3 p.m. 3 days later.
Right.
You know, then you pick your next load. It might drop off at 10 a.m. So I mean, it's never anything on average. Okay, so with flatbed, on average now, there's gonna be somebody saying, "Oh well, this one time I did." I said on average.
On average, right.
You're gonna be loaded by 3 p.m. You're gonna be emptied by 3 p.m. And if, on average, if you're not reloaded by 3 p.m., chances are you're gonna have the rest of the evening off, and you'll get reloaded the next morning. And there is a normalcy about that. I'm saying that's gonna be it every single time.
Right.
But there's a normalcy to that. There is zero normalcy to reefer driving. There is zero normalcy to it. You can pull up to a big
tanker too.
Yeah,
Tanker, because you work weird hours.
Yeah.
You know, if you notice, you never seen a tanker really fill up these tanks while you at a truck stop.
Right. Unless you have buckets.
But they come at wee hours of the morning, so it offsets your life.
Yeah, man.
Major. So
it's not the same thing. When I was doing driving and reefer, the best part about that is dropping hooks and when you could do like dedicated accounts where you would pick up loaded trailers, and all you had to do is just get unloaded.
Moving, but how long did you stay on that account to do that?
Man, my previous company, I just said I used to drive with Swift. And by the way, when you hear somebody talking crazy about that company, listen to zero of it. That's a lies. Okay, I worked there. I'm telling you, that's a bunch of bull. That's a pretty damn good company. It really is, and they're gonna treat you decent, and they're gonna pay you. They talk bad about them because they're the biggest,
that's right.
and they're just the target. Think about football. Somebody don't like Peyton Manning. Why? Because he was strong, successful, on
did
target, and he would whoop your team. Yeah. And same thing with what's his name? The dude that kissed his son. What's his name? You kiss your son on the lips. That quarterback kiss your son on the lips. He go, hey son. Like, what the hell is that? That's his thing. But he won like every Super Bowl for in the last 7-8 years. He won every single one of them. What the dude name? You know, for the Patriots, what's his name? I don't watch football, but people don't like the dude, man. Not because he damn near French kissed his son, but because he's a winner. He wins all the time. And that's why people have a problem with Swift. This ain't because they're a bad company, and they're not. But when I worked for them, very supportive too, by the way. They put me on a dedicated account. I ran a Costco account, and I was on it for a while, man. I mean, and that was a really cool deal because I did the same thing every day. I knew where to go. I knew the people, and when I showed up, it was the same people there every day, you know, and
built relationships.
Right, and it was so easy, and I would know what to do. They would just, hey, you know, and then I would already be backed up to the dock, and ready to run. It was really, really good. Okay, but we would have accounts with Flatbed too. They may be contracted to you know, bring all of the aluminum extrusion from from the distributor to the job site for a whole building, right? And it's brand new. And it may be just all Melton trucks doing that. So you just own that back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until it's done. You know, and we do have dedicated accounts here at Melton, and it would be, I guess, the same thing with Tank, because I guess sometimes you would you know, pick up from an oil company that delivers to the same place a lot.
Yeah, you do, but it's kind of different. See, with the fuel business, it's kind of hard to get a dedicated route because everybody needs fuel at one time, and it ain't that many tanker drivers out here. So you know, they got to sling you. I mean, they swing you when you hauling fuel. They swing you.
You know, my very first student here at Melton, he stayed with Melton for a little over a year, and then he went to do tanker. He did it. He left because this tank company is a daily thing.
He home daily and this, that, and the third, but you away from the house over 14 hours, so you might as well be back over the road because they gonna want you 12 hours on the clock.
Yeah,
they gonna want you 12, and then that ain't including the, you know, all your extra time in between. So we're pre-tripping, and Lord knows if a hose busted or something, and you know it's process. I mean, stuff happens, and it's always gonna happen more in tanker than I think than it happen in anything, because you get bad range. You get, I mean, you constantly got to check your equipment every day, and if you don't, that's your setback. That's your setback.
So outside of the setback part of it, you did make a decision to get back into flatbed.
Yeah.
And out of all the flatbed companies, and there's a lot of good ones out there, you came home, which is Melton. So what made you make that decision to choose Melton?
Well, I mean, because I've worked for other flatbed companies than Melton, but what I see at Melton, man, I like their safety rating. I like how they pretty much consistent. You know, with pay and all that, all the way across. A lot of other companies wasn't like that. They'll be up here. You know, you'll be up here 3 months, and then you're gonna drop so low in the next 3 months. You had to use what you already made. You know, and it's fluctuates. But with Melton, across the board, I'm back. So that says a lot. So.
You know, I will tell you this. For all you new drivers, and then I'm gonna quit rambling since it's already been 20 minutes. You can choose, there's a lot of good flatbed companies out there. You know, general freight hauling flatbed companies. Now, there is a couple of things about companies that set them apart, and that's true. There is a consistency with pay, where you know, and it does depend a lot on the driver itself too. You know,
right.
But if you're consistent, your money's consistent. Okay, and they're gonna keep you rolling consistently.
And their safety is.
And the safety thing is big.
Yeah.
And that being said, we are going through a little bit of a hiccup right now, and it's not the company itself. This is us as drivers that are making some boo-boos, you know, like passing scale houses, you know, simple things.
Small stuff. Yeah.
How you pass a scale house, man? And now I'll tell you in the next video how you could pass a scale house. Okay,
You gonna tell them that?
We're gonna make that the next video, because I done had it for 22 minutes. They already telling me to shut up because I ramble so much. So I'm gonna ramble to the next one. Okay,
Yeah.
But hey, you know, I hope I didn't overtalk too much of the differences between flatbed and tank.
If it's my opinion, come flatbed. Don't. You can take your own decision, but tanker is they guarantee you cancer. I'm gonna guarantee them that.
They guarantee you what?
They gonna guarantee you you will have cancer in a short time.
Cancer.
Cancer, yeah. Guaranteed from breathing the fumes.
Yeah.
And you dropping it in the ground and you still breathing film. It's films the whole part of the job. So that's the last point I'm gonna get you. So
yeah.
And I'm back at flatbed. So that once again, I wouldn't have came back if it was so good.
Yeah, and this is from somebody who have experience in multiple genres, right?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna quit rambling and let y'all go. But I'm finna come right back till I see you again in a few minutes. Deliver Undistracted. Here's your boop. Boop.